Hi everyone, today I'll be looking at the superimposition of arpeggios when soloing. During a solo, arpeggios are often superimposed over a chord or chords of a progression. This is typically done to extend a chord, to alter the notes of a chord, or to add a new chord or chords to a progression. Often triad arpeggios are superimposed, although seventh chord and extended chord arpeggios may also be used. It is arpeggios whose root notes are a third apart which are common choices for superimposition. These third-related arpeggios typically begin from the degrees of the triad or seventh chord over which they are played. For example, over the C major triad, an E minor arpeggio and G major arpeggio may be superimposed. The superimposed E minor arpeggio implies a C major 7 chord, while the G major arpeggio implies a C major 9th chord. Superimposing E minor 7, G7 and B half diminished 7th or B minor 7 flat 5 arpeggios from the degrees of a C major 7th chord implies C major 9th, C major 11th and C major 13th chords. To create an altered C major extended chord, arpeggios which are related to the third related superimposed triad and seventh chord arpeggios may be used. For example, a common alteration over major chords is to raise the 11th, which can be achieved by superimposing a B minor arpeggio over a C major triad. B minor 7th, D major and D7 arpeggios achieve the same result, but also include the 13th. Along with third-related arpeggios, several other arpeggios whose root notes begin on other notes may also be superimposed over C major. These include D sus and A sus4 arpeggios, which imply a C6-9 chord. And an A minor 7th arpeggio, which implies a C6 chord. When superimposing arpeggios over chords of a progression, care must be taken that the chord type of those chords are not changed. For example, superimposing an E half diminished 7th or E minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio over a C major triad changes the major triad to a dominant C9 chord. Of course, this can be used if a change in chord type is intended. For example, here a secondary C9 is implied on the fourth quarter note beat before the move to the supertonic in the following bar. Remember, if a superimposed arpeggio contains an altered version of a note already sounding in the accompanying chord, the alteration may not be heard as a change but simply as a non-harmony or chromatic note. For example, here superimposing a G sharp diminished triad to imply a C major 9 sharp 5 chord is not effective, as the G is sounding as part of the C major triad, and the short duration and location of the G sharp note means it's heard not as a change of harmony, but as a chromatic lower neighbour note to A. Third-related arpeggios are also common choices for superimposing over minor and dominant chords. The principles already outlined essentially remain the same when superimposing arpeggios over these chord types. However, because dominant chords are more frequently altered, the choice of arpeggios for superimposition is increased. For example, the following three 7th chord arpeggios, all using D or its alterations as their root notes, imply the following C altered dominant chords. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.